Hi, everybody. I don't know who's joining me yet. Hang on one second. I need to fix something. There, better. There. Better. Hi, Jordan. Hi, everybody. I don't know who's there yet. You know what? I should just look on my phone. Hi, everybody. How are you? How are you doing? We've been having some pretty good weather today. I'm happy about that because I was out in the sunshine. That was awesome to be out in the sunshine. Let's see what's going on with everybody. I'm just tuning in so I can see the comments along with everyone. Hi there, how you doing? Sherry, should I call you Sherry or Sherelle? How you doing? I'm drinking water because I was out today. You know how when you're out doing stuff, you get like your mouth is like kind of parched from doing different things, you know? Should I call you Sherry or Sherelle or Beyonce? Remember we were talking about that earlier. I should have heated up my coffee too because I feel like I want both. I feel like I want coffee and ice water. Hi there. How are you? You said Sherry is cool. That's good. Hi, Andre Anthony. Are you actually a male joining us? Oh, it's hilarious. Oh goodness, I hardly ever get any males in here, or they won't say anything. If they come into a chat, they might say something, maybe not. Well, that's good to hear, Andre. How have you been enjoying the readings? Have you been watching the channel, Andre? Hi, Raquel. Oh, okay, that's good. That's awesome. Hi, Ellie. How you doing? That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you joined us too. Okay, I want to make an announcement to everybody in the chat. There's a male in here with us. Oh, goodness. Well, that's good. You enjoy it too? Good. So, Andre, I have to ask you, do you feel that you are in a twin flame partnership, or are you open to looking in that, the different things have been happening, or do you think it's all just kind of too extreme? Because I'm curious about what the males think about the whole twin flame thing, because some people, they don't believe twin flames are real. So I was just curious about that. Let's see. I just wanted to come on. I've been having a pretty busy day today. I was only able to take a break for about maybe 40 minutes today, but I was just curious to see what you all have going on for the weekend. Because I feel like I've already started my weekend today. I was busy and I got to go to the movies. I went out to eat. I went to the movies. And I want to tell you all, there's a movie that just came out today. I think it just came out today. Okay, it's called The Possession of Hannah Marie, something like that. The Possession of Hannah Marie. And oh, you do believe in twin flame. That's good, Anthony. And Andre, sorry, I'm already calling you one of my saint names. See, I have my St. Anthony rosary right here, so I'm already calling you Anthony on accident. Yeah, it's called The Possession of Hannah Marie. So if you don't like scary movies, don't go see this one. Don't go see it because it was pretty scary. Oh, you said you're a horror movie fanatic? Yeah. You know what? I always have been. Even, when I was a teenager, it was all the Freddy Kruegers, all of the Halloweens, all of the, Freddy and Jason and all that. I went to see all of them. And, both of my parents, they were fine with taking me to see them. And I would go and get one of my friends and we would go to the movies. I used to do that every week when I was a teenager. You like them too, Sherry? Yeah. This one that came out is kind of scary. It really is. It's kind of gross though, because the woman in the movie, she works at a morgue, so it's kind of gross too. The Green Inferno. I haven't seen the Green Inferno. What is that about? Andre says he went to see the Green Inferno. I don't know what that's about. Okay, I just got a silly email. Okay. I've never heard of the Green Inferno, but you heard about they're making the Candyman. You remember that one? That's like 20 years old, right? Where he says we're headed to the suites. We're headed to the suites. And that one I definitely want to see. But did anybody see the Halloween remake that came out in October? That was good. It was kind of funny, but it was good because it's like 30 years old, the original. So Jamie Lee Curtis was in it, and she's the grandmother now to some of the other ones who were being terrorized. So it was pretty good. You said you get your love of horror movies from your mom. Oh yeah, American Werewolf in London. And you remember when that came out? How it was like really, it was so dramatic and it was so controversial because it was really gory. They were showing everything in that movie. They showed everything, but that movie was terrifying. It really was. I remember seeing that. Yeah, Sherry, you said you're going to see the Halloween remake. It's pretty good. It's not like so gory. You don't have to sit there covered like the whole time, but it's got some funny parts in it too. Oh, you know what? My daughter, she's going to want to see the Child's Play remake. Because she loves that. I mean, when we were watching Child's Play, at least I would say at least a few times a year when she was younger, we used to love watching that one, even though it was old. I was just talking about you like the I'm doing a live. I was talking about the Child's Play remake. Somebody said they're going to see that. Oh, you didn't like the Halloween one. I liked it, but it wasn't like so scary. Yeah, the first Child's Play is a classic right now. It definitely is. Yeah. Yeah, and Carrie, how can we even talk about horror movies without talking about Carrie and Christine? There's another Christine being remade. I would see that. I would like to see that. Hi, Elizabeth. We're talking about classic horror movies because I just went to see The Possession of Hannah Marie. I just came back from seeing that. Yeah. You know what? A lot of the movies when I was really young, I used to wait with my parents and they would let me, they would determine if I could see it or not, because we had cable, we had HBO. Remember when HBO was such a big deal? You remember that back in like 82, 1980, 82, when HBO was like such a big deal because it was one of the first major channels, back then. It. Oh, it part two. Yeah, I would like to see the part two of that one. I went to see that with my sister when it came out. Yeah, that was pretty good. It. Hmm. So, what other hobbies do you all have that would be considered interesting? Do you all have like interesting? hobbies that are a little bit unusual that nobody would guess. Mm. This water is so cold. It is so delicious. This water is so delicious. Yeah. Let's see. What is one of my oh, you know what? I don't think you all know this about me, but I paint. I like to paint sometimes. And that started with me when I was in like 11th or 12th grade, because one of my teachers, actually I took art every year in high school, but one of my teachers, she was really free flowing, you know, with the art and everything. And I took her class in the 12th grade. I think that was my very last year. But of course, I had art almost every year while I was in high school. But I do like to paint. You know, I like to paint, and I'm thinking about getting back into that because it is therapeutic, and I think it's good for you know, good to relax, good to, you know, keep in a good flow. Oh, see, I didn't see either of those. I didn't see those, Andre. I didn't see those. You said 1,000 corpses or another devil rejects. Yeah, I didn't see either one of those. And you said you're an Aquarius, so you're weird anyway. You know what? I'm gonna tell you. I know some Aquariuses, but Aquarius, they can be so cool because their thinking is like they think so openly. They don't think with those normal kinds of things. Everything is kind of free flowing in their crown chakra. I feel like they're connected to a different kind of energy. You know what, Lisbeth? I used to bake a lot. Yeah, I used to bake a lot. Oh yeah. Yeah, baking is really good. That is something that, you know, but I don't do it a lot because I don't want to put that kind of thing on me where I'm constantly eating something that's on the verge of being sweet, you know, all the time. But I still do bake sometimes, not very much. But I used to bake like from scratch, you know, just putting things together with recipes from scratch. We used to do that a lot. So Sherry, you said you listen to a lot of music. It makes you happy and puts you in a happy place. And you used to write short stories. Yeah. You know what? It's funny you brought that up because I remember I was like in second or third grade and I won an award for my stories about a doll. It was about a doll. Because, you know, I still do have my doll collection from years ago. And that's something that people don't know about me either. Hang on one second. They're much better. Okay. Yeah, I used to collect dolls too. It's interesting that you brought that up because that is one of my you know, the American dolls. I collected those. I collected porcelain dolls, and you would be surprised how easy it is to find classic dolls, like dolls from the 60s, 70s, 80s. You can find them in a lot of places. It's not like a big thing for you to go and find some, you know, some classic ones. Oh goodness. Okay, let's see here. Oh, you said that you're very connected to music, all kinds of music. Me too. Yeah, if you look in someone's music collection, you're gonna find out so much about their personality and their thoughts just looking in their music collection, you know, or knowing what they have on their playlist. And Sherry, you said you pretty much listen to everything. I do too, because I think that that keeps us much more open, you know, unless, you know, and then when you restrict your music, you're really restricting your thoughts too. Jimi Hendrix, Clinton, and Bowie are awesome. Yeah. You said, are you soulmates? That's funny. Oh, Sherry, you said your grandma used to collect dolls? Yeah. Yeah. You know what? My grandmother is the one who kind of tuned me into that because when I would go to her house, she would have those dolls with they had the dresses on and everything, but they almost looked like those those Precious Moments dolls, but they were long and skinnier, taller, but their face was kind of like the Precious Moments dolls. She had some of those sitting around in her living room. And that's like part of the connection when I used to go to her house because we would go over like every week. And I would always see those dolls sitting there. And as I got older, I think I might have started collecting just because it was a connection to her, that memory of the dolls. So, yeah, I collected dolls. I used to like to write stories, read poetry, and paint. It's just like a creative outlet. And too, crochet. Does anybody else crochet? Because I mean, that is something that it runs in my family and it runs very deeply in my family. Does anybody else crochet? Because I found that, I found that since I've been busier, like this last year and a half, I haven't really been crocheting. But that is something that my crossed over loved ones, my loved ones that have crossed over, they still encourage me to crochet. They talk about it, especially when I go shopping. They really do want me to, go ahead and pick up different colors of yarns and everything. Hello, Beauty. You said you and your mom, you crochet too? I love it. I mean, it's very relaxing. And the one thing about crocheting, you don't realize how much time you've been sitting there crocheting. You can do it all day long. And when you do it like that, you're going to finish your project much quicker. Like if you were going to do a hat and a scarf set, you can get that done in about 4 or 5 days, or less, depending on how much time you want to spend doing that. Oh, Cynthia, you said you used to crochet a little. Mm-hmm. You know what? What I find with that is that, oh, you just said hee haw, Andre. Do you remember that show, Hee Haw? Oh my goodness. You said hee haw on your dad's side was Southern rock, mom's side R&B. Your mom grew up with Little Richard and Otis Redding. Yeah, that sounds like a mixture of what went on in my household as a kid. Oh, you know what, Cynthia? If you want to crochet, you should start thinking up your own kind of pattern. Just kind of take your hook and just start going in on making different stitches or taking the stitches that and then just do whatever you want to do with them. That's really how I got into free flowing crochet, just crocheting all the time, crocheting ponchos, hats, tank tops. I crochet tank tops, bikini tops, and you really do start to expand when you just do your own thing, kind of that kind of energy of doing your own thing. Andre, you said most nights when I sleep, I hear people talking. It's like or sounds like a room of crowded people. Yeah, that's So when you're doing that, those are people that want to connect with you. They know that you hear them, so they'll start showing up. That when they know, especially if you're going to sleep and they know you come into your bedroom at a certain time and it's going to be quiet, they'll start doing that. Or if you're waking up in the morning and it's like earlier, before everything really gets going for your day, sometimes they wait for you to wake up and they'll say little things too. Mm-hmm. Hello, Beauty. You said you are nice. Anyone else love? Oh, well, thank you. I try to be nice to everybody. You said you're going to try it, Cynthia. Yeah, because if you bought different colors of yarn that you like, See, can't you tell that I like to crochet? You can tell, can't you? If you bought the different colors that you like already, you can experiment with a different size hook. Because when you're using a really small hook, it can kind of hurt your fingers. You can experiment with different size hooks, different textures of yarn, and then with the cold weather, you can just say, "Well, I'm going to make a scarf," or "I'm going to just keep going in a circle and make a hat," or something simple like that. And then as you're doing it, you'll start to get more creative. You see what I'm saying? You'll say, "Oh, well, I'm going to work on fringe, or I'm going to work on scallop edging," or something like that. It's going to take you to another level where you feel more secure being that creative. Oh, yeah. You thought that you were a sociopath because you can hear your grandpa? Yeah, well, you're not. You're not. Yeah, you're not a sociopath because you can hear him. Mm. Can you imagine all of the people who would be totally misdiagnosed with, not to say mental illness isn't real, I'm not saying that, but can you imagine how many people would be misdiagnosed with mental illness and it really is their ancestors or, someone who's crossed over, speaking to them and letting them know, I know you can hear me, so I'm going to talk to you or visit you sometime. That happens a lot. Yeah. So you said, Sherry, you would like to crochet? Yeah, well, it's probably right there in your DNA. Sherry, it's probably right there with you. You're saying your grandma used to do it, so it's probably there somehow with you. You might not have explored it fully yet, but it might be there. Oh wow, your son passed away. I'm sorry about that, Andre. Wow. Yeah, definitely. So you feel like he's visiting you. That makes sense. Yeah. Cynthia, you said you have cloth dolls made in Puerto Rico? Oh, I see. So you're wondering if it's okay to keep them. Well, I mean, I think that they can be okay to keep them. Even though I have not taken mine out, I don't have all of mine out, but I have some of them out. But I think if I was to put so many of them out, I don't know if that's good to clutter up the space and clutter up the energy and everything. So I just have a few out right now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Andre. That sounds so sad. I'm so sorry about that. Hi, Isla Bonita. Beautiful island. Is that what that means? I always think of Madonna's song when I see your name, La Isla Bonita. You love my hair? Well, thank you. I was just talking to someone today and yesterday about my hair. We were talking about dyeing it again, like dyeing it a different color, but not really dark, but dyeing it a different color because of winter time. Yeah, it probably is, Sherry. Yeah. You said, have I heard of them? What are they? Some kind of negative kind of thing, like bad stuff? Is that what you're talking about, Cynthia? Yeah, it does mean beautiful island. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, decided to go ahead and dye it lighter because this is like the lightest I've had it in a long, long time. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I had my hair dyed this color. But I was thinking about dyeing it another color that's a little bit bright, but on the darker side, just because I know my roots are going to be growing out in the next few weeks. You said you dyed your hair purple and blue. Oh, that is cool. I saw someone today with purple. She had purple hair and it was like dark on the ends, but it was purple. And then I saw another girl with pink and then it was gray. So people are really expressing, no, it's like any color you want, any color you can think of. Oh, so that's your real name? Isla Bonita is your real name? Wow, that is beautiful. Thank you, Hello Beauty. Yeah, some people, I mean, I think that is so cool. If you name your child, like, if you name your child a name that is so beautiful, it's like a feeling, like Yesenia, flower. And I know someone named Yesenia, and I'm like, wow, that is really pretty, to be named after something that pretty. Snow. I know someone named Snow. So it's like, if you think of the name and how you like what it is, like you like it, and then you name your child. I think that is so cool. Oh yeah, well that doesn't sound bad at all, Cynthia. That doesn't sound bad at all. Yeah, those are. I wouldn't think that they were anything bad unless you put negative on it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you think of it as negative. But if you're honoring your ancestors, they might like that out too. They might like to have one of those out. Oh, your name is Crystal. Yeah, I know some crystals definitely. Doesn't it seem like we all know someone named Crystal in this genre, like in this field? We know someone named Crystal. Oh, you said a woman did a video explaining those. Did you all see my video from about 5, 6 days ago about altar magic? I just did it about 5, 6 days ago. If you look down in my video selection, it's all about altars and how to work with your altar, where to put them, what to put on them. If you're working on love, if you're working on money, if you're working on banishing, just it's a lot of information. And I did it like a slide presentation. I just did it like 5, 6 days ago. So if you click down, go to my video list and then click down, you'll see it. You said, keep giving us hope, Auntie. Oh, Andre, you did see it. Well, thank you. I'm glad someone did see it because after I put the information out there, I didn't really hear anybody say anything. I didn't really hear like comments after I did it. And I was thinking about changing up the format of some of the readings to do it like a slide kind of presentation on some things. But I don't know. That takes a lot of time, and I don't know if people are really interested in having it presented to them that way, instead of just having like a one-to-one reading. Yeah, you do. You need to know what you're doing and what you're dealing with. You're right. Cynthia, sounds like you're on some kind of intense journey. I'm picking up the energy. It's like you keep going back to how to work with something. And it's really good and clear to have some guidelines. And, if I'm having a casual conversation, I can't give you all the guidelines. It's best to get a reading if you feel like you're about to step into something and you're not sure. You know, some people naturally are drawn to anything that's dark, anything to do with that. Some people are just drawn to it naturally, and some people are just naturally drawn to light. That's really how it is in any kind of genre. It could be shamanic, it could be witchcraft, it could be hoodoo, it could be root work, it could be Reiki, light workers, etc. It just really depends on what you're drawn to, but you'll find dark and light in everybody. There's dark and light in almost everything. Yeah. So, hello, Beauty. You said you saw it too. What did you see? And you said, Andre, you said you being from the South, you always use the term roots or root worker. I'm confused about that. Oh, what is confusing you? What is confusing you, Andre? Because I just say root worker because that's really what we were. You know, that's what mostly everyone, no matter what their nationality is, if you go far enough back, they knew how to work the roots because the roots came from the earth and the earth came from the highest divine source of all there is. Okay. So basically, working roots, I mean, to me, I think it's the same as witchcraft. I mean, that's what it would have been called. And people now, they would say that someone is a witch. And I don't really use the term witch to describe myself. I never have, because I don't think anyone is a witch just because they're doing what's natural from our ancestry, from our soul DNA, from working with the roots to create an intention, to create a manifestation. How is that being a witch? I don't really see how that is. I think you have to do a lot more things to be called a witch. Yeah, it is a definite difference between hoodoo and voodoo. Yes. Yes, definitely. So, hello, Beauty. You said your mom went to a native doctor and turned out she was cursed with voodoo witchcraft. She got it removed, and two pebbles were pulled from a bottle and they exploded. Okay, see, I'm totally lost on that one. See, I'm lost on that one. I don't know about two pebbles exploding in a bottle. I don't know anything about that. You know what? I don't have any lodestone here. I have pyrite, I have hematite. I don't have any lodestones, but lodestones are used to attract. Yes. Oh, I see. So you said they were in her head. Wow. So that almost sounds like psychic surgery. Hmm. That's what that sounds like. Do you all remember that? See, you all have me reminiscing in childhood. We were supposed to be talking about the weekend. Do you remember back in the 80s, they used to have those people come on those shows, Real People, Do You Believe It? Um, Believe It or Not. And they used to do that psychic surgery. They would lay the person out and they would have all those little fake guts. And, it's like they did a real psychic surgery and the person was set up and all that afterwards. Do you remember those shows? I remember those. That was something that I never figured out. I was like, really? How do they do that? What is that about? And then I didn't realize as a child, it was fake. It wasn't real. Sherry, you said you remember seeing those. I do. I remember seeing those too. Because back in the 70s and 80s, it was such a big deal to just have like the family coming together into one room and everybody watching TV. It wasn't like you could just record it and go watch it later. Everybody would be like the same time, the same place, the same station. Because if you didn't, you were going to miss your shows. So everybody kind of gathered closer. Yeah, though they were definitely fake. Oh yeah, yeah. I have Puerto Rican friends, Cynthia. I do. I have Puerto Rican friends, and I know that some of the things are common. They're common here. They're common in Puerto Rico. They are part of the continental United States. Yeah, I know. I know it's common. Hello, Beauty. You said preach. What are the comments you're saying, Beauty, that keep getting retracted? Are you swearing? You must be swearing. Hello, Beauty. Yeah, you said, Aunt Roz, love, wise, what do you see for me for the first through the third? Well, Andre, it's just the same. This is a chat. I can't really answer it. See, I feel like I'm doing people a disservice if I don't actually do like a reading for them. I feel like I'm doing a disservice by randomly like talking and then doing, answering a question. because I like to make sure that my thoughts are clear when I'm doing a reading. And another thing too, I just started using cards about a year and a half ago. I never used to use cards before. I use cards because people are very attracted to cards and it helps them with visual things, visual aspects of a reading. But I never used to use cards before. I just go by what I'm seeing in theta. Okay, so when I asked you, hello, beauty, are you swearing? You said I'm mixed Asian and black. That was that was your response. I said, what do you keep saying that they keep retracting your messages? I said, you must be swearing. And you said, I'm Asian and black. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. You said, no, I'm not swearing. Those are typos. Okay. Oh goodness. So, Andre, why do you keep putting up the little devil symbol? What is that about? What, the little devil emoticon? What does that mean? Oh my goodness, that is so funny. Hmm. You said they were typos. Okay. Let's see something here. Okay, I'm just looking at my notifications because they're popping up too. Oh, that's how you're playful. You make sure you put those little devil emoticons when you feel playful. Okay, that's cute. So, what all do you have planned for the weekend? Do you have like plans? Because it's going to be December, and a lot of people they have stuff that they're doing specifically, like for Yule and for Yule. I don't want to say Christmas so much, but Yule, the holidays. You know how we all tend to get together and do things with our family anyway, even if you don't believe in Thanksgiving, we still spend time together with our families. Is there anything that you all are planning? Oh, you said it's not often you're in a room full of ladies. Okay, well, you get a pass right now if you just do that. You're not being disrespectful. I was making a joke in the beginning because Andre joined us, and I said it's so rare to get a male in the room. It's unusual a little bit, but I would like to see more and more males come to the room, and then they can give us their opinion. Because ladies and goddesses, you all want to know the male perspective. That's why I'm thinking of doing more divine masculine readings too. Where I can do like comparison. This opinion, that opinion, the male thoughts, the feminine thoughts. So I'm trying to do more and more of those, trying to incorporate those. Oh, Andre, you're working the weekend? Well, that's a good thing. It's a good thing to be working for the weekend. Oh, you said you're on tour, Crystal? That's good. You're going to California? That must be nice this time of year. It must be. You said you're always a Southern gentleman. What part of the South, Andre? Because a lot of my relatives, they're there now. Louisiana, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Um, yeah, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Alexandria, Baker, Louisiana. Some of them, not all of them, are there. Sherry, you said you really don't have much family. You're staying home for the holidays and you're going to sleep. Your job is having a holiday party. So, oh, okay. So your job is having a holiday, but well, that's something to look forward to, Sherry. It really is. Oh yeah, it's got to be cold in Maryland. It must be. Oh, you're from Macon, Georgia. Okay, 2 hours from the ATL. Okay, I've never been to Georgia. You know what? There was someone talking about some of the rappers and entertainers and everything. They're moving to Georgia because they can't afford like California and LA and all that. They can't even do that anymore. So they're moving to Georgia, like ATL. Uh-huh. I know some of my family went to Macon, Georgia to visit before. Yeah, today it was pretty cool because I live in Michigan, so it was pretty cool today. It was 40, and I was like, I am so good with this. I am so good with this because normally, like this past week and 2 weeks and 3 weeks ago, it was like 20 degrees, like 20 degrees, like winter, like freezing. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. You did a super chat. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You said ATL is a hotbed, literally. And is it hot right now, though, Andre? Is it like really hot right now? Well, thank you, Cynthia. That's sweet of you. I appreciate that very much. I do. Thank you, too. I appreciate it. So you went to Alabama and they called you names, and you said you hate the South because they called you names. Oh, well, that's too bad. That's terrible. Well, do you hate all the South? You don't hate all the South, do you? Hmm. You said, Sherry, you said your grandmother was from Louisiana? And you have Alabama, Tennessee, but you don't know much about them. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to drive through different states, like Kentucky, Ohio, because we used to drive, when we would go for our visits for the summertime, we would drive. So I've drove through a lot of states, but yeah, I haven't visited all of them. Andre, you said it's sad and crazy, but your city, oh, it has the highest rate of STDs in Georgia. Wow. Hmm. You said your city is not like that. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow, that is something. The highest rate of STDs. Wow. Mm. So then when I was in high school, I remember when we had health classes, don't you remember they were talking about STDs and protection even back that long ago? So I wonder what the problem is. You know what I'm saying? Because they were telling us about that. That was like 30 years ago. They were telling us about being protected. You said just it was my fault because I was in the most racist red. Oh, you were in a racist part of Alabama. I see what you mean. Oh, and Andre, you said you're celibate because of it. Yeah. I don't blame. I mean, if it was something like that, means you know what? Now that you're saying that, you know what? I remember the person who went to Macon, Georgia. She's a friend of the family, and she was telling us this was at least 10, 15 years ago, and she was telling us that some of the husbands, it was like really a lot of it going on. Some of the husbands were bringing back STDs to the wives because they kept going to these different prostitutes. That's what she said, and that was like 15 years ago. And they talked about. She told us about how bad the STDs were, and that was like 15 years ago in Georgia. Yeah, that's true, Andre. You were saying they were a little bit confused, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's sex ed all over. Yeah. Oh, I see. So there's still a lot of prostitution downtown, you said. Wow. So I wonder what they're planning on doing about that, Andre, because um there is something on YouTube I was watching. I watched it twice this week, and it's prostitutes that are they're in Holbrook. Holbrook. It's like it's not London. It's somewhere further than London. But anyway, they legalized prostitution in this whole area, like a 5 or 7 mile radius. Is they legalized it because it was so much of it going on, and they felt like it would be safer if they just legalized it in that area. So you have to, like, they have to be inside the certain area, and then it's legal. And I'm thinking, wow. Excuse me. Yeah, I thought that it would be, a lot of, some people there are affluent. They are really well off. Some people are there. Crystal, you said, how did this go from dolls to prostitution? It went from TV shows to music to dolls to when he brought up Hee Haw, I just had to laugh on that one because I remember that show. Oh goodness. You said you don't think Georgia will ever legalize marijuana, and if they do, they're going to tax it heavy. Yeah. Well, in Michigan, where I am, they just legalized marijuana, but you can't until I think they said December 6th or something. It'll be legal recreational marijuana, which I mean, I'm just like, I just hope that people are careful driving, like when they have their kids and stuff. That is something that kind of worries me a little bit. Sherry, you're laughing about that. About what she said. How did the conversation go? It went from crocheting to dolls and all that to prostitution. Oh, goodness. That's hilarious. Oh, goodness. It has so many medicinal cures. But you know what, Andre? I wonder, does it really have medicinal cures? Is it really a cure for anything? Don't you wonder about that? I think it would probably cure anxiety, right? Because that's usually why people would smoke it, is for anxiety, to release tension during the day or whatever. But I don't know. Would it cure anything? I wonder. You said your daughter says marijuana. So you think that it does help to cure people? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said, Cynthia, you said hemp oil is good. Yeah. I believe the oil, that is pretty powerful, Cynthia. I do believe that because anytime you break down something to the purest form and you break it down to what's inside of the actual seed, that is powerful. Yeah, you believe all cures come from the earth. Yeah. Well, that's shamanic and that's ancestral, definitely. Cynthia, you said you don't want to smell pot. You hope if it's legal, they make it illegal to smoke it outdoors. Yeah. I think, you know what, in Michigan, because it's finally happened here, they're gonna have regulations on it and it's gonna be taxed very heavily. It will be taxed very heavily here. Yeah, they've got anything to do with Michigan and the recreational marijuana that got passed. It just got passed like 3 weeks ago. It's a lot of stuff going on with where you smoke it and how much you can have on you, and it's all these regulations going on with it. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, so definitely, I just want people to, be safe with their kids. That's a big part of it. I mean, and then you wouldn't want kids to start smoking it so young that they lose motivation, that they start to lose motivation for different things, where they think that, basically, they go to school and then they get high or watch TV or just get high and play video games, and they might not have all the motivation they normally would. You said, let's talk politics. Are you a Republican or Democrat? Oh, yeah. Well, I think mostly on my channel, it will be mostly Democrat or liberal. Probably. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it would be too many Republicans here. Yeah, that's what I think that it can make it can make depression worse because some people, they might not be in a good frame of mind anyway, and then if they're adding too much, marijuana to it, that's not going to be so good. Yeah. But and then some people, they're like, hang on one second, you guys, I'm freezing, the window's open. Hang on a second. Yeah, actually, you know what? Some people are trying to they want to self-medicate, because I used to be a caseworker for years and they want to self-medicate. And then when we start like hiding what we're really feeling, and then we say, oh, well, I'm going to do this on my own and cure something, because we're really made to communicate and to be with one another. And then when we start going to ourselves to try and heal something and we're not talking about it, not expressing it, that can be kind of, you know what I'm saying? That can be kind of dangerous. You said that almost no Black person that you've met is a Democrat, not to be racist. Really? How is that possible? How is that possible? That's almost the opposite of what I know. So you're saying that mostly the Black people that you know are Republican? That's what you said? Yeah, I believe that too, Cynthia. Yeah. I know that, anybody who says that, especially if you're just listening to different people talk inside the United States and they're telling you, they go on drum journeys, but they have to do some ayahuasca, some, what is that other one that's really popular? And they're calling it cacao, because cacao is just chocolate or cocoa or whatever. But people are doing different things and saying that it's shamanic, But I don't use anything. I do my drum journeys completely, sober. I don't want to go take something and then do a drum journey, because I know that I want to be clear. And I like having my experiences with my drum journeys and my theta brainwave. I don't want to get high. I don't want to do that. You said it was a mistake. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. You said that was a mistake. You didn't mean it like you said it. I understand. Yeah, I believe that it was used at one time and it was very highly, highly regarded. Like it was sacred to people. The whole thing with marijuana, I think it was sacred to people before. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. But Andre, what he was saying is that he believes that it things that come from the earth can cure. I believe that. I just didn't know if marijuana could cure something. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that all the herbs and roots can help you, definitely help us. But I didn't know that marijuana could cure anything, because that people used to say a lot about marijuana and cataracts curing you. You remember that? That was a big thing, and a lot of people said that the cataracts, it was cured by marijuana smoking. So I don't know anybody who smokes it for cataracts, for the use of cataracts. I don't know anybody who does, but that's what a lot of people were saying. So hello beauty, you said you subscribed. Well, thank you. You've got a lot of interesting thoughts and conversation, definitely. So does Cynthia, so does Andre and Sherry. I'm enjoying this very much. Yeah, people read their own tarot all the time. Now I'm looking at your comments. Let's see. So someone just asked, what is tarot? What is a tarot? You just asked what is tarot and you're on a tarot channel. Crystal, you're cracking me up. Oh goodness. Oh, goodness. She's tickling me. You're tickling me, Crystal. Well, you know that tarot cards are actually they're based on a story, right? You know that tarot cards are based on a story. It's based on the story and the journey of the fool. You know, the fool starts the whole story and he learns about his life, you know, and he learns about what he needs and he walks through the story, you know, of the tarot cards. That's really what it's based on. And along the way, we've got people who also associate certain tarot cards with certain signs of the zodiac. This gal, Sal, you said, yay, I finally caught you live. Yes, you caught me live. Yes, you caught me live. You said you just found yourself here, Crystal. That's funny. How old are you, Crystal? I'm curious to know now how old you are. Everyone's names, I find them so interesting on YouTube and on Instagram, the names that people go by. I'm on Instagram, but it's according to my you know, my site, Roots of Earth. That's what I'm on Instagram as. Oh, okay. So you're 19. So you're young, definitely college student. Yeah, I did a reading for somebody about 4 days ago. Yeah, about 4 days ago. And she was 20. And I was like, yes, you rock. This is awesome. Yes. Because the younger people, you know, I feel like they're going to take this much further than we would. You know, a lot of people my age, we're not going to take it nearly as far or have as much going on as some of the younger people that are, you know, going to take this and be open with it and go with it. And their children, their nieces and nephews, etc., they're going to go much further with it. And you said not to brag, but you go to Yale. Well, that's beautiful. I'm happy for you. That is beautiful that you're going to Yale. You're going to do a lot of great things for us. Definitely. This gal Sal, my Instagram is Roots of Earth, ROOTZ, is with a Z instead of a S, Roots of Earth. And then my other Instagram is Aunt Rosalind's Magic. So I have two. Yeah, it takes a lot of work to go to Yale. That's a lot. A lot of commitment and dedication to that. Definitely. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you'll be able to, if you keep your mind and your thoughts open to what's happening energetically and spiritually all around you, and then you keep your thoughts open to what's happening in the concrete kind of earth, the third dimension, you'll have a lot of interesting insight to be able to help us. Oh, hi, Joanna. Okay, so now see, I'm matching your names. See, it's hard to match your names when we go by different names, you know, when we have different names on YouTube, Instagram, you know, our social media. How are you doing, Joanna? You're smiling, huh? Oh, goodness. So, Cindy, you said you were a good student. You went to a specialized high school. But you have depression. You went to college, but you could not handle Yale or Harvard. Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Just don't blame yourself for it. Don't blame yourself for it. Oh, okay. That's good, Joanna. Good. That's good. I'm glad you're in communication and contact. Mm-hmm. You said, Crystal, you said you're really open-minded and you get annoyed by stuck people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, people, they shouldn't prejudge you. It's like everybody puts this blanket over people. Yeah, I understand that totally. Oh, I see. You know what, Sherry, you should try and stick your foot back in that, because usually what happens is when you start waking up and you have more and more awareness and everything to what's happening and you start elevating this part of you, your consciousness and everything, and your goddess energy, when the goddesses really align themselves to the energy, they will usually start to develop some kind of talent, skill, or hobby that it was like hidden before, or it's something that they didn't do for 20, 25 years, and they'll start reconnecting to that hobby, that activity, etc. Yeah. Andre, you said you can only deal with high vibrating, open minded people. So then a good question is, what do you do about the people in your family who aren't open and they're vibrating on lower energy and they are still arguing with one another, or they think that anything that deals with spirituality is negative? How do you deal with that? You said your mom, Crystal, you said your mom is a Muslim and she's a strong part of our community and neighborhood, kind and sweet. Yeah, definitely. Beautiful. That can be so difficult. And I can tell you firsthand, that can be so difficult dealing with people who are vibrating at that other kind of thing where, they don't see anything wrong with arguing. Fear-based religion, fear-based. Like they're going to be Christian or they're going to do this because they're afraid to go to hell. And that's like their bottom line. It's hard. That's hard because there's people in our families and our friendships at work that may have that kind of thing going on where they're not quite open minded and they don't understand any kind of spiritual aspects, not really in that true sense. Yeah, yeah. So Andre, you said you keep away from people like that, a lot of people in your family. Yeah, that's the way it goes a lot of the times, but there has to be in families usually what happens is some of us will vibrate differently and we come in to be the door openers. Like we're holding the generations, the doors open for both, for the ancestors and for the ones to come. We're kind of like door openers, like way showers, because there has to be some that will still uphold all that is the truth, the real truth of the light and of our ancestry. You said it's disingenuous. Yeah. Let's see. Sherry, you said that is something I would like to revisit and go back, try to listen to the spirits and relax, take care of yourself, and then go back to school. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So you're feeling that need to reconnect. Yep, I'm hearing you'll get a lot of balance from that too. And Crystal, you said you're so passionate about it. Mm-hmm. Joanna, you said low vibing people need to lift up, hold the light for them. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is that is the way, and we need to hold the light for ourselves too. You ever notice when you're experiencing something, how do you react? Do you come down on yourself? Or do you treat yourself like you would treat a good friend if they were going through something bad? Hold the light in the space for yourself. And then when you see it happening in others, you hold the space and hold the light for them too. Okay, well, I've been on for a while, but I don't know how long I've been on. How long have I been on? I don't even know. I wasn't keeping up with it at all. So what is the next round of videos? that I should concentrate on. Should I start in with manifesting wealth, prosperity, abundance readings? I would like to do that because I love manifesting. Oh, I've been on 64 minutes, Cynthia? Wow. That's awesome. Thank you, Cynthia, for telling me that. Crystal, you said next week, please. Oh, about the manifesting wealth and abundance and everything? Mm-hmm. Joanna, you said you don't know much about working with the ancestors. Well, that could always change. You might find it one day that you would like to. You might have a natural kind of interest towards it one day. So Cynthia, you said manifesting sounds good too. Okay. So maybe what I'll do is maybe I will put it into like a presentation, kind of like what I did with the altar magic. If you go down in the videos, you'll see the altar magic when I did that about 4 or 5 days ago. So that it has a little bit of wealth and manifesting, just a little bit in that one too. Oh. Crystal, you said it's spelled ancestor. Oh, well, it's just a typo. It's just a typo. That's all it is. Yeah. Okay, well, I've had a wonderful time speaking to all of you. You know, I think we get along well in the chat room. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm excited. Yep. So, Cynthia, you said, yes, very, I think, manifesting, but never realized we can manifest negative. We just have negative thoughts or thoughts of lack. Yeah, that's true. Because whatever you're concentrating on, that's what could manifest. Thank you, Joanna. I appreciate that very much. It's good to see you too. Yeah, of course, it takes a while, you know. It takes a while to, you know, but you have to accept like the process of it, you know, not going against it, like going against grieving. That's not good because you can't do that. So, thank you for that. Does anyone else drink coffee at night? I'm just curious. Oh, goodness. Because, I mean, we love coffee up in this place. We love it. Well, thank you, Joanna. Thank you for being sweet about that. Thank you. Thank you, Andre. It was good to chat with you. Cynthia, you said you drink coffee all the time. Yeah. Hi, fashion lover. We're just about to wrap up because I've been on over an hour, so I'm about to wrap up. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, everybody. And you said you would never sleep, huh? Oh, chicken broth. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, goodness. Okay. I'll check back in with you guys soon. Okay. Take care. Blessings. Blessed be to everybody. Okay. Yeah, it's very nice chatting. Thanks, everybody, for stopping in.